Okay, I am back, and this is going to be part 2 of my teardown. And in this one, I'm just going to look at the gears in the transmission, see how they are wearing. I do want to take the Cush drive apart, and I'm going to do the same I did on the front and take a look at the rear differential. And on this video, I'm just going to blast through the teardown and just basically just get to where I have everything available to look at. So this one's going to be much shorter. So I'll be back when I get everything torn down. Okay, so I am back. We'll start boring and then work our way up. This is the pinion gear. It is a metal pinion gear and it does drive a plastic spur. So I did not expect to find any wear on this. You can see all the teeth look pretty uniform. No issues with this, and this is a 23 tooth. So the Traxxas Maxx does come with a 23 tooth pinion, in case you were curious. You can see all the teeth are uniform. No chipping, no damage. Again, did not expect to find anything because it is a metal pinion. Now this is the spur gear that does house the Cush drive, and I did take the Cush drive out. I'm not really seeing any wear on the pinion either. Yeah. That's actually really surprising because this is a very high power truck, especially if you run it on 4S, which is about 14 volts. Again, it'll do about 50 miles an hour, and usually plastic gears do not like high powered applications, but again, they made these things so wide, there's so much contact area. I'd be surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised if each individual tooth does not experience that much stress. You can see there is some fraying right here. I don't know if you can see those little fibers, and that's normal. That's just normal wear. It's nothing. You can see there is some polishing right here in the teeth. Again, just from the friction, because when gears mesh together, when they leave, they kind of rub like that. So I mean, you know, some polishing is expected to be found, but it's nothing abnormal with this spur gear. And then this is, actually we'll go to this. This is the drive gear, also known as the transmission input gear. And now this is metal on metal because this does directly drive the center diff, and the center diff is metal. But I am not seeing any signs of serious wear. I don't see any abnormal wear. Just pretty normal for, you know, a gear. This is the center diff. You can see it is metal. And again, this is lubricated too. Metal on metal, you want to be lubricated. And you can see just a standard, this gear, it actually doesn't look that polished. I don't see that much polishing on the gear teeth. Yeah. All the teeth are even. Again, it was not making any weird noises. So I did not expect to find any issues with gears. Yeah. That was the center diff. This is the rear diff. Pretty normal. Again, I'm not saying that I'm not. See, there's not that much polishing on this one. Of course, I don't have the best lighting for seeing that stuff anyways. But you can see the gear still runs true. None of the teeth are chipped. So the diff looks good. This is the pinion for the rear diff. Looks like, you see there is a kind of a wear pattern right here. I don't know if you can see that streak. Yeah, all the teeth have that. So that is interesting. So this is starting to develop a wear pattern. I wonder if that's reflected on this. I just didn't see it. Of course, it's made it up like that. That's how it's made it up. Huh. Oh yeah, I can see it up. You probably see it right there. Yeah. So the rear diff is developing a wear pattern. That is interesting. And this is the Cush drive. And I'm not seeing any signs of fatigue in the rubber. We'll get that taken apart. Yeah, here's the rubber cushion. Yeah, no signs of fatigue. It's still pliable, which is expected. You know, it's not that old. And this is the metal. I don't know what you would call this, but I mean, this is metal on rubber. This is probably never going to wear out ever. But yeah. And all of the bearings still spin free. So this is the back motor plate that does have a bearing in it. This is the stator, I believe. I can't remember if it's called the stator. I think it's called the rotor. Anyways, I'm not like a motor expert. But anyway, so this rides in there like that, and that bearing still spins very freely. So these bearings are maintenance items. You can just see how, I mean, this thing, when you're wide open throttle, this thing's spinning at about like 40,000 RPM. So it does need to be balanced, and it's, you can see that, it's like a top. Oh. So that bearing's good. That's nice to know. And what can happen if you get these motors hot? You can see this is actually bonded to the shaft. These can actually kind of debond themselves, and then you'll basically, the motor will basically, it basically kills the motor, because this basically just drives the shaft. If this becomes delaminated, it's not going to drive the shaft anymore. But I'm not seeing any signs of like adhesive melting or anything, so that's good. Plus, I did not expect to, because I never overheated it. I've never had temperature issues, because it does have this nice heat sink with a fan pre-installed. You can see that's what the inside of the motor looks like. Nothing. These motors are sealed. I mean, so I mean, it's you don't really expect to find any damage or dirt in there. And of course, this one is no exception. But so yeah, that's my teardown. And I was gonna take this plate off and take the front bearing out, but I stripped out that screw, which sucks and is annoying. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah. So that's actually my teardown of the Traxxas Maxx after about, between guessing 12 to 15 battery packs. Nothing too concerning. Again, the servo failing, that was my fault, so I'm not too upset about that. But here's the rear wheelie bar again. Again, I don't think these are bearings, but yeah, so nothing too concerning. There is that wear pattern on the rear diff, but you know, it's not a real car, so it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, I'm not worried about it. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.